Okay, so I am having my morning coffee with you this morning. I don't know why. I was just having my coffee. I've got the place to myself. The kids are at a sleepover. And I started having my coffee, and then I just got this urge to have my morning coffee with you guys and girls. So that's what I'm doing. And before I get started, I want to say welcome to all of my new subscribers. Thank you so much for jumping on board and for all your beautiful comments with the last video. I really, really appreciate it. All right, so I was meditating just before I did this, and I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't get any sensation whatsoever, no messages, radio silence. All I got was birds. That was it. I was just focusing on the birds. They were singing, I don't know if they were singing particularly beautiful this morning, or I'm just not stressed, so I'm noticing it because I don't have the kids here. I don't know which of the two it is, but it honestly just felt like a little bit of a gift, just being able to listen to really, I'm going to say that their pitch was perfect this morning, or at least it sounded that way to me. I must just be in a really good mood, I think. Okay, so let's get started. 1, 2, 3, universe. What do you want to say to my beautiful viewers this morning? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I'm sitting in a really weird position too, and I feel like my fluffy socks are going to get precariously close to appearing on camera. So I'm going to try and avoid that at all costs. Okay, flexibility. What do you want to say about that? We'll wait a little bit because I'm not getting anything there. I mean, the first thing that I will say it, because it did jump into my head and I said, no, I can't say that. Well, I won't censor myself. Maybe this is for someone. It occurred to me last night that I was all in pink. Socks and all. I never wear pink. Very rarely wear pink, I should say. Very rarely, especially not more than one item. And I hadn't planned it. It just happened. I mean, fair enough, they're pajamas, but still, I'm currently decked in pink. I realized last night, from head to toe, socks and all. I thought, why am I wearing pink? And then I thought, well, what's wrong with it? And then this morning, when I went to have my breakfast, I grabbed the pink bowl. And I thought, oh no, I don't eat from the pink bowl. And I thought, but why not? Why can't I eat from the pink bowl? So I ate from everything's pink at the moment. And I just decided to be okay with that. But I don't know why that's coming out. That might be for someone. I suppose it's about not being rigid with how we perceive ourselves. You might have always prided yourself on saying, oh, my favorite color is this. And I know this seems like really, I'm just coming up with the first examples that come to mind. But what if you change and then your tastes start to change? What if your whole your palate changes? We can change, we can transform. And I think it's fun to kind of not pigeonhole ourselves. It's kind of nice when you, it's kind of nice. It's a little bit exciting, isn't it? To roam outside of our usual hood. I don't even know where that came from. Okay. Stability. That's interesting. Exuberance and stability, and I'm getting a balance between both. I think it's about maybe being stable in terms of the things that are important, like the intrinsic things, your ethical code. That's different. Maybe don't be flexible there. But even then, always be willing to examine everything. Man, this is not how I thought this reading was going to go at all. I thought birds were going to come up, truly. And we were going to somehow get into a conversation about birds. But okay. All right. So it's about balancing, I'm getting an image of a house too. I mean, it has to have the stability. But what's inside it, you can play around with that, for sure. I mean, you wouldn't want your house to look exactly the same for, 5-10 years, would you? We do have some birds there, I suppose. That's a long shot, but I am noticing you, lion, but I don't know why. I mean, I had a very vivid dream. Do you want me to talk about animals or something today? What's going on? Something going on with animals, because it started with birds. Yesterday I had an unexpected encounter with a kitten. Spent the afternoon with a puppy. And the night before I actually had a dream. I won't go into it, but I had a dream that I was a lioness and I had a lion with me. But I actually was embodying that lioness, so I got to experience life as a lioness. If anyone's interested, that might be more of a private chat. I'm not going to do that because I can remember very vividly what it feels like, actually. to be an animal. And I loved the experience, actually. Well, flexibility. Yeah, seeing yourself as, I mean, we are animals. I wonder if anybody needs to hear that. Remember that. We are animals. So there is a wildness. There is a wildness in us. It's there. I don't know where this reading's going to go. But, this is exactly how the last reading was too. Same thing. I was like, I don't know where we're going with this. And I almost didn't post it. But imagine I hadn't. Because it resonated with so many people. So, and it's so funny because I really felt like that reading tanked. I didn't like it at all. I even said it towards the end of the reading. But isn't it interesting how our perception is not the same as everybody else's necessarily? Because you're all watching this, and the beautiful people that watch this, apart from the one person who always presses dislike. Every reading lately, I've been getting one person who just comes in and presses dislike. Just one person. And I've actually been told to tell you, if you're watching, that's not going to change the situation. Okay, I do have a message for you. All right, 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Where are we going with this? Why did you have me talking for so long about being an animal? It's about understanding the drive, I suppose, within all of us. All right, I'm going to keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like some things just are 7, 8, and 9. They don't overthink. Courage. Why have you fallen underneath that tiger? This is a tricky reading. It's a very tricky reading. And because, as I said, as I was meditating, I didn't get anything. It's not to say I'm not tapped in, because my left hand was buzzing, and that is my sign. But he's making me work here. Oh, okay. So I am speaking some truths here. There are a lot of truth bombs in the last reading, actually. A lot of truth bombs. I nearly just said truth bombs, didn't I? Trust. And the beautiful thing is, thank you for reminding me, those of you who trusted the process and stayed through to the end, it actually turned out to be a love reading. Didn't expect that. But it was only for those who stayed through to the end. And you just trusted that the reading was going somewhere. But you didn't get your love story at the start, did you? You got it once you had sat through the rest of it. Because the rest of it was, about how we treat others. So any narcissist would have just dropped off really early. All right. Stillness. Well, this is what I'm trying to tell you, I guess. And that's the color I'm wearing at the moment, by the way. There it is. All the pink. That's kind of what I'm getting. This is a tricky reading because there is so much stillness. It's a lovely stillness. It's a very peaceful stillness. But it does make it a little bit harder because I feel like I'm having to work this out. All right. Do you know what I will do? I'm actually just going to quickly ask Jesus. I think you're overestimating me slightly here because I'm at a standstill here. Can't seem to move forward with this, and I feel like it's important. What do you want to tell me, please? Otherwise, I'm going to have to get more cards. I'm not gonna fake it. Okay, thank you. Okay, this is why sometimes I have to ask, because the tiger would just do it. Okay, raging seas. I'm going to try and say it without human interference here going on in my brain. Raging seas. Tiger knows it's got to go somewhere. It just gets in the boat. Doesn't question. The tiger's not going. Thank you very much. Okay, and I've just remembered something. The tiger would not ask what might go wrong. What if the boat does this? What if the boat does that? The tiger just does what it needs to do. Okay. It's this survival thing that animals have inbuilt in them. Okay. And that reminds me of something Jesus told me, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks ago. He just randomly, I was sort of doing a self-hypnosis, but he came up in it. And he asked me to go back to a moment I'd actually forgotten when I went down a mudslide as a child. And I mean, I'm guessing probably 9, 10 years old. And it was quite a long mudslide. And I just went down it and just absolute state of glee, and then, landed in the mud down the bottom. But The point was the feeling that I had. I remember not thinking at all, what if there's a twig? What if there's this? Or, what if I get... There were no what ifs. I just did it and it was just fun. And he was reminding me, well, look, there it is. And I forgot that card was there because I hadn't been paying much attention to that. Yeah, it was just fun. I was not looking at worst case scenarios, I guess. And yes, there was this sense of trust. And he was reminding me to go back to that. But at the same time, you can't... I just almost thought I wasn't recording. And I thought, no, just when this reading is actually starting to make sense to me, let alone you, patient people, it's not to say that you're going to lose the core of who you've become. So everything you've become and overcome has made you a very grounded person. And somebody I want to say that's very Oh, look, okay, now we're on fire. Very trustworthy. I wasn't looking at the card. I looked at it right after I said trust. Somebody who's very trustworthy. That's not going to change. But it's just that you need to sometimes, and this is for myself too, not just for you, sometimes just be willing to do things without thinking so much. Because that's important too. Because that's how animals behave. Obviously not if it's going to endanger you or endanger somebody else. Okay. All right. I'm actually liking this reading now. So there's a time for everything. There is a time for stillness and there's a time for exuberance. Okay. I still feel like there's more though with that animal thing. I don't know, but I'm not going to force it. It's not coming out now. All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Focus. Healing. Okay. They've come out together. So if there's somebody... That's interesting because I just saw hell. My eye went straight to there and all I saw was hell. And what I'm getting here is a strange message, actually. I'm getting that for some people, it's a little bit of a trap that I'm going to say the other team is setting for you, making you think that you need to keep focusing on healing. Okay? Now, please be careful. Use your own discernment. If you do feel that that is you, if you do need to focus on healing, if you feel there's still more work there, then by all means do. But for some of you, you don't need to anymore. It's actually time now to enjoy yourself and just be flexible. Try new things, new aspects of yourself. Maybe wear something you wouldn't normally wear. Maybe go to bed decked in pink from head to toe. Yeah, look, playfulness. I'm getting the confirmations here. So I am aligned. Because that's another message that I got as well the other day. And this might be for someone. Sometimes, we do get messages from above. And, it's so hard to describe. I wish I had drawn it. But it's almost like, say there's a circle, right? And you're here in the middle of it. And then there's all these truths out there, right? Pertaining to different people, different circumstances. I'm probably explaining this terribly, but please try to follow. So you might be getting information about such and such person. You might be thinking about such and such person, but you're actually getting information about this person. And so the information you're getting is not in alignment, okay? And then that can trigger you. If, for example, you are in I'm going to call it a situationship, where there's someone that you're, wanting to be with and it hasn't happened yet for whatever reason. Where that can trigger you is if you are sort of hyper-focused on looking for signs all the time, and then you get some information and then you're thinking that it pertains to them, and it may not. It may pertain to someone else, someone that you work with, That's a message I've been given a lot, actually. So it's got to be in complete alignment, meaning right person, right information, aligned all the way through. And that doesn't happen all that frequently, by the way. It's very important I tell you that. So please don't go by signs too much. I did a reading called Signs versus Signposts. There's a difference between the two. And what was really fascinating was that one of my viewers then let me know that even in the Bible, they do talk about signposts. So, and I didn't know that. I don't know. I'm not a biblical scholar. I know some basics, but I don't know it well enough. Okay. All right, let's go. I'm going to get 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Did I talk about? Yeah, I did talk about the playfulness. Does somebody need to go on a road trip, by the way? That's very random. Does someone need to rent a combi van and go on a road trip? I don't know. Maybe you do. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I come? 5, 6. I love road trips. 7, 8 and 9. Peace. Well, he is the patron saint of animals, Saint Francis of Assisi. So that's interesting that that's landed on top of the animal card after I did that big long spiel on animals. I'm not sure. Do I have some animal lovers maybe, or is there somebody thinking about working with animals possibly? This might be the confirmation you need. So I was actually talking to a friend last night about when I used to volunteer at the zoo, actually, of all places, just because I loved animals that much. And I was considering maybe becoming a zookeeper, but yeah, man, they work really hard, let me tell you. It is actually backbreaking work, but I loved it. We were talking a lot about animals because she loves them too. Is that a bird? What's on his... Hang on, I've got to have a look here. Is that a little... Yes, it is. It's a tinchy little bird. Oh, yeah, they are such a gift. We get beautiful birds actually where we live. Maybe somebody is being, I'm going to say, invited. is being invited to... Can you hear the birds here, by the way? I don't know. Of course, they shut up the second I shut up. Maybe someone's being invited to just listen to birds in the morning. It's these little things, isn't it? We don't do very often anymore. Okay. Yeah, I really do feel like somebody might be having a calling to work with animals. And if you are watching this and you do have that calling, I'm going to say this is a confirmation. I'm really going to say that because I think it's the first reading I've ever started talking about animals. And it's definitely the only reading I'm talking about animals this much. Yeah, I don't know why, because I saw, it says purification, but I got that it's dirty. Because the Ganges as well, obviously they're very dirty. A lot of diseases there. And I cannot stop thinking about that hell. I feel like for some of you, please move on from that. You're never going to be completely healed. It's not possible. There's always going to be things, but just trust the process and just get on the ship. And look, we've got 2 ships here. One of them says courage. One of them says trust. Both of them have very rough seas. Yep, just go with it anyway. Tap into the animal in you. Because it's going to be good wherever you're going. And see that? No more waves there. No more waves there. Get on the boat. Somebody really does need to get on a boat, though. I mean, well, maybe you actually do need to get on. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, though. You need to step past the boundaries that you've placed for yourself. You really do. Someone needs to, metaphorically speaking, get on a boat, get on a train, whatever it is, someone needs to take some kind of action. Whether it be moving house, whether it be moving jobs, whether it be moving towards from your old life to a new life. There's a new version of you waiting, but it does require courage. You cannot get there unless... That's the part that God can't do for you. Thank you. All right, now we got it. That's the part that God can't do for you. He can provide the boat. He can provide people to row the boat for you even. Okay, he can. He's helped you already with the healing. But the only thing he can't do is actually get you on that boat. You have to do that bit for yourself. And I think someone, at least one person watching this needs to hear that the only way you're going to do that, to fight the fear, because I'm getting there's a lot of fear as well. I mean, for you to be reminded that you need to have courage, or this could be someone who's connected to you, by the way, as well. Yeah. In order to, for someone to say to you, you need to have courage, that means that you're in fear. You are quite fearful at the moment, or somebody is quite fearful at the moment. And I think the best way, you're not going to dispel that fear with logic. It's not going to work. It's going to happen by reminding yourself and tapping into the animal in you. And why do I feel like I want to say maybe literally go and spend some time with an animal? It's just reminded me because I completely forgot I used to do that sometimes. And I haven't done it in years. I did go to the zoo actually. Okay, I'm rambling now, but I did go to the zoo last week for my son's birthday because there was a light show. We went at night though, and there were lions, and all I saw was its behind. Yeah, it pretty much just showed us its ass, and I don't blame it. I don't. It probably wasn't in the mood for us. But yeah, we couldn't see it because it was completely dark. But I used to frequently go to zoos when I felt that I needed a little bit of strength. And I would just go and sit there and wait till I could be as close as possible to a lion and try and make eye contact with it. I don't know why. I don't know why this has come to me. Oh my God, you forget things, don't you? Does somebody need to do that? Because it really is, and I know this is a tiger. Maybe for some of you it's a tiger. But there is something, I don't even have the word for it. I don't. And I'm pretty good with the English language, but I don't have the word for it. But it does something to you at a very visceral level, just looking into the eyes of a large cat. But, maybe for you it's a different animal. Could be a different animal. But there's definitely something going on here with animals. And the strange thing is, I know I should wrap this up now because I've said everything I need to say. But for some reason, it's not wanting to wrap up. So I'm going to go with it. I will go with the flow. I'm going to trust. There's something else you want to say. What else do you want to say, Jesus? 1, 2, 3. No, I'm not getting the Wizard of Oz deck. No, 1. Haven't shuffled 2. 3. I haven't shuffled it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I've got Tin Man in my head. Tin Man. Why would you do this to me at the end of a reading? This is a conundrum. No, I'm not going to go over there. I'm not. Next reading. But I do have Tin Man. I just have to tell you that. Tin Man. Tin Man. If I only had a heart. Okay. There we go again. You need to overstep your boundaries. He's reiterating that message very strongly because that's the only way you are going to reach freedom. And freedom means feeling like you're not compromised anymore. You are who you want to be, okay? There you go. That's how it's come out. You're who you want to be, and the people around you are the people you want around you. You don't just make do with what you got. Oh, and someone does need to go on an adventure. Now we actually are done. We are done. I think that's what he just wanted to say, yeah? You need to leave your boundaries and free yourself. And regarding the Tin Man, I guess, to be continued. Maybe that's the next reading. All right, over and out. Take care.